is if we got to give up 23% wages and 30% cut in benefits when the company's making $30 million, what are we going to have to give them when they show a loss for a quarter?
2 years ago, under the incentive program, my last incentive check in the hog cut in the new plant, I grossed $637 for 47 hours work. After the incentive program was taken away, I went down to $409 a week. Today, I'm making $312, working twice as hard for the same amount of hours. It's ridiculous.
My father worked for George A. Hormel plant for many years. He was also a very proud man. He was a hard worker. He was proud of his products. He was in the days of heavy production. He went out on a stretcher one day from the plant. My husband, now I'm proud to be a wife of a hog cutter. I'm proud of the products, but I don't like the way they're treating my family or my husband or anyone else who's ever worked for that plant.
It's a real quagmire of a situation, and people are really getting hurt. Their pride is hurt because they can't fulfill the needs of their family, and they've somehow got to go on welfare programs, and people are very angry, hurt, upset, frustrated, and it's difficult to vent your frustrations in the proper direction.
In Austin, Minnesota, 22,000 people. We're in a kind of a little world by ourselves down here. These are the people that we go to church with. These are the people we go to grocery stores with. We meet on the street. We meet in the theater. We meet in various forms of recreation. We rub shoulders with them. Do we care about our employees? Yes, we do. But in the long term, we don't want to go the way of many other packers who realized too late that their costs were out of line and then tried to recover and couldn't.
It's been written that Jay was a born innovator and remembered for his social conscience. His thoughtful understanding of and concern for the welfare of the working man was surely what gave rise to the many benefits that have been made available to Hormel personnel. He initiated the first guaranteed annual wage. There was also a first-of-its-kind profit-sharing plan for the workers that paid out a share of the year's profits to each of them. Perhaps that explains why everyone at Hormel strives for quality and efficiency.
I've worked for Hormel.
Hi.
Hi, are you with P9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's good.
Is what Local 9 proposing up there with a corporate campaign the answer to the problems that we have seen in the meatpacking industry in the past and the challenges that we're faced in the meatpacking industry for the future?
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do too.
You're saying that regardless of what is decided by this organization, you're going to go ahead with that campaign as you've outlined it?
If the rank and file dictates they're going to resist these pay cuts, we're going to resist the pay cuts. And I guess we would like to see you on our side in this fight.
The Austin program, it occurs to us, is symptomatic of Reagan's philosophy. I'll get mine, and the hell with everybody else.
Maybe we shouldn't expect every single meat packer to receive the same wage. Now, wait a minute. Maybe we need to look at each company and say, what is the profitability of the company, and then base the wages that we expect from that company based on its profitability.
God damn it, the guy working at Armour, $6 an hour doing the goddamn same work they're doing up there in Austin, Minnesota, deserves a 1069 too, as well as every other packing house worker. And that is what we stand for, and that is what we got to do, Ray. We cannot have one group hanging way up here and everybody else down below. It's wrong. It's the wrong kind of unionism.
We're here saying, you know, we've got a program, we're representing a client and a large group of people, and we're going to continue to represent them as long as they want us to.
Why won't the international union support the Hormel workers? Is $10.69 an hour too much?
Look, I worked in those packing houses. I worked for a very anti-union employer as a beef skinner on the kill floor, so I know what that work is. And they deserve 1069 plus, believe me. And I know that one of the things that Local 9 has said to the packing committee is, well, if we can get 1069 there, that's the shining star and everybody will go to that. But I gotta tell you, in some 10 or 15 years of our experience, that's not the case at all. Either one or two things happen. Either those operators who are on the low end of the scale get bigger, or those on the high end of that wage scale just simply say, the hell with it, and they go out of business, or they go close this plant down and go down the road and open up a plant at $5 or $6 an hour. You know, that would be great if we could do that. I'd be the first one to say, hey, let's do it. But it don't work that way. Look, between both of you, you want to strike. You keep snapping at everything for one. Now, if you want one,
some goddamn results, Louis. You think it's us?
Look, I can't deliver, and I don't intend to carry this on. I can't deliver something that's not there at this time. I've been banging around.
Make them set their pay.
Quit looking for somebody to run in here with a fucking white horse. You don't even know what negotiations is all about. And you come in here and act like you know every goddamn thing.
I did not come in here and act like I know everything,
Shit.
Louis.
The hell you never.
Our members are asking for some answers, Louis.
Well, give your members some answers then. Don't lay the shit on me. The easiest goddamn thing to do is blame somebody for the goddamn problem that you're in. I can't change the circumstances.
We didn't blame you for the problem we're in, Louis. We're saying...
The biggest and most powerful threat that you have is the threat of a strike. When you actually have to use the strike, then you are going into an all-out war. And you have to pick your fights. And if I get a little emotional, I seem tired about this. You know, this is not jerk-off time. I mean, this is serious business. You damn well better be able to inflict some economic damage on that employer. If you cannot get into his pockets and take a lot of money out of it and make the employer understand that it's better to settle than it is to continue to fight or the losses will mount, then the employer will crush you.
Hormel's production has not been stopped. The company shifted production to their other plants that are still in operation. In the Austin plant, they're using their own management personnel to turn out thousands of cans of Spam a day.
It's got to be blatantly obvious to everyone that this company doesn't want a contract.
You're at the crossroads.
I want to win the thing.
I don't think there's a guy sitting at this table who don't want to win it.
Well,
That's
I don't.
Excuse for doing something you should be doing.
Well, all I'm saying is whatever it takes to win, I want to do it.
Sure.
That potentially is a time bomb that's ticking that can blow up in all of our faces. The company is going to end up forcing a settlement on those people out there. That is going to be way under the Hormel chain settlement and under the Oscar Mayer settlement. And here you're going to have this big company, very profitable, that has got a substandard agreement that's going to tear the shit out of our rates in the industry. I mean, we are going to negotiate shit if they get stuck with a bad settlement up there.
You people are believing that we've got the power to get them to the table. It is my assessment that the reason that we have been unsuccessful, the reason that our strategy hasn't worked, the reason that we've gone to a 4.5-month strike is simply that very issue. We don't have the strength to get him there.
The division that some have tried to create here has been to our downfall. And I just wish that we could act concerted.
The fact
instead of
is,
going off in
I
different
think we all realize right now the company is in a very solid and very legal position to start that packing house up without us inside if we don't go back to work. Now, I think the rank and file here has been misled in understanding this company's position.
I think the problem is, Jim, the company isn't going to talk to you, period. I mean, they've got a grudge against you, and I think you probably got a grudge against them. And I don't care if we offered to go back to work for $5 an hour, the company ain't going to talk to you.
Why don't you talk to them?
Or Ray Rogers, because I'm not part of the negotiating board.
I'll tell you one thing right now. Throw me out of order all you want.
Security? Did you call 911? Get him in here. Get him in here.
You guys settle down.
Will you sit down? What the hell is the matter with you?
Back off
All right. If you guys have come to fight and not get any damn answers, continue. Otherwise, sit down. It's a union meeting.
We have said, until we're blue in the face, I don't know how we say it again, that we have gone as far as we're going to go. That if you want to go into negotiations and that means you're going to get more and more and more, no, we're not going to give any more.
$10.
Written in stone, they don't even want to talk about it anymore?
Nope.
Other than asking questions.
Yep.
There's no bargaining whatsoever.
You people think you're winning. I really don't think you're winning. The company, I don't think, thinks you're winning either. You're at war and they're at war, and they're not giving in.
The contract that you work under is your decision alone. The executive board has recommended rejection. I have a family like you have, and I want to be able to say to them, as Hubert Humphrey said, I'd rather live 50 years like a tiger than 100 years like a chicken.
We've got a $100 million plant there that needs to be run. We're taking applications tomorrow from people that want to work in that plant. And if Local P9 says we are going to continue to withhold our labor, now the process is underway. The union will have rights to their jobs in the plant until they've been permanently replaced.
So far, I think I've seen about 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've seen 7. I had to come today. I had to know what it'd be like to see people coming into the place that I spent my whole life in, going in and doing my job. It's really, really hard to watch this happen.
I'm never going to let myself get in a position like this again, where a group of, a minority of assholes dictate how I handle the rest of my life.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss, I guess.
I'll tell you, there will be no blocking of the ingress and egress of that plant. That plant will operate, the people will come in, the state police will come down on them, and just crush them. Now that's what'll happen. You can't win that fight there. When they call, and if the state police can't do it, then they'll bring a National Guard in to do it. But it will be done. Now that will demoralize the piss out of them, because you know what they'll be doing? They'll be standing there, 3 people every 50 feet with their dick in their hands, watching people go in and take their jobs. Now that is very demoralizing.
Hey, look, is everybody here? Because you got to do it and be effective.
I'd like to know how many people here think that they could get up at 3:34 whenever the traffic comes in and do it. I'm ready right now.
Do it.
Let's do it Friday morning. Let's do it.
All right, then we'll see you at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I've been out of work for 6 years. I need a job.
6 years?
6 years.
How have you been getting by?
Just doing odd jobs.
Must be hard. You ever worked in a packing house?
No.
Okay, where are you from?
McIntyre.
How'd you hear about it?
Been on the news. I got neighbors who works here.
Does it feel hard to go across the picket line?
No.
When you go across that line, that's your decision. You just don't let it bother you. You better be able to stand it, or you should have never went across.
Why are you doing this?
I need a job.
When was the last time you worked?
Oh, last spring.
Where are you from?
Austin.
Okay.